Joe Rogan has had enough of Tim Walz. The top podcaster hilariously lashed out at the former vice presidential candidate after he made bizarre comments about his masculinity and ability to fix a truck.
Yeah. You mentioned about Biden and Kamala. What do you think you do if you're either of them now? Like, Trump's just running ragged, flying high, having all of this fun. What are they doing? Like, what do you do when you've lost two people have lost a campaign in the space of 6 months?
I don't know. Tim Walz is out there talking again.
You say he could fight any Trump supporter?
Yeah, he says he kicked their ass, and they're scared of him because he could fix a truck. They're threatened by his masculinity. I know how to fix a truck. That's what he said. I'm like, do you? I bet you don't.
The lady doth protest too much.
I bet you don't.
I fear.
I bet if I bring a broken truck to you and a bag of tools, you're fucked.
That was kind of the redress, right? That was the attempt. It was like, we're gonna the symbol of masculinity on the left is going to be Tim Walz. It was Aragon from Lord of the Rings, and Tim Walz.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I think they're lost. I mean, they're also lost in that they can't control the narrative anymore.
Online commentators were in hysterics over the comments, with this person saying, Tim Walz couldn't beat a kid on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Rogan's comments come after Walz made a bizarre and violent claim on Gavin Newsom's podcast.
How do you fight it? This
I think I could kick most of their ass. I do think that if they wanted to. I know I can outrun them, but I don't know if we're going to fall into that place where we want to. Okay, we challenge you to a WWE fight here type of thing.
Again, the online commentators came out for Tim Walz, with this person saying, "This snowflake has to be the phony tough guy of the century." And this person agreed, saying he's a 60-year-old fairy who has aged like milk in the sun. Joe Rogan also expressed relief that Walz and Harris didn't make it to the White House for the sake of the country.
If that Tim Walz cocksucker, if that guy got into power, like if Kamala died and Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, was our president, you know how crazy this country would be? That weirdo who puts tampons in the boys' room, and what about our joy? Like, he's a complete pathological liar. Like a complete liar. Lied about being in Tiananmen Square. Lied about being a fucking head coach of a football team.
Rogan's slamming on Walz comes after he had a controversial week in the spotlight. Tim Walz tried to be funny by blasting Elon Musk and celebrating Tesla's stock plunge, only to realize that many of his constituents in Minnesota benefit from the billionaire's company.
This guy bugs me in a way that is probably unhealthy, and but I have to be careful about being a smartass. I was making a joke. These people have no sense of humor. They are the most literal people. But my point was, they're all mad, and I said something I didn't probably shouldn't have about a company. He is agreed. So I make the case, they're all butthurt about the Tesla thing, but they don't care the disrespect they have shown to employees at the Minneapolis VA who care for our veterans, and they fire them. They don't care. So we will have the conversation about efficiency in government and about doing that. But none of us believe for a second they're thinking about this. Oh, we fired everybody that's dealing with Ebola. And then he went into the Oval Office wearing a hat. I don't ever want to hear anybody talk about decorum and respect or that. Wearing a hat, coming in there, richest man in the world. Again, this maybe is just me. If I'm the richest man in the world, I'm like out on the streets handing out the money. It'd be fun as hell just to help people out. Go help people out. Not this guy.
Commentator Josh Hammer slammed Walz, saying he speaks drivel.
He probably does not actually realize that, because he's not operating at a particularly high intelligence level, if I'm just calling it like I see it here. There actually are some moderate-ish Democrats who are not going like full, complete, utter, disgusting jerk when it comes to the issue of Tesla. So, for instance, Ro Khanna, who comes from Silicon Valley. He plays footsie with a lot of the big tech bigwigs. You know, he had an interview this past week, Rita, where he said, I'm not rooting against Tesla. Tesla employs 20,000 people in my district. Okay, thank you for speaking some common sense there. But Tim Walz doesn't really know common sense from the other side of his foot there. I mean, this man speaks drivel, and when he's not speaking drivel, he's speaking far left ideological pablum there. Thank God this man is not the vice president of the United States right there. I mean, frankly, rooting for an iconic American company to fail in this manner, to root for people who are living off of their investment income, living off their capital gains, people who are in their 60s, 70s, who are retired, who are just living off of their dividends, whatever they're rooting for them to fail is nothing short of disgusting. It's not about Elon Musk. It actually is virtually nothing to do with Elon Musk. This company has a ton of employees, workers who work at the manufacturing mills, and you have investors there. So it's really about them.
But he's again been humiliated with Tesla's stock price rebounding. Commentator Scott Jennings trolled Walz, saying, Tim Walz checking his TSLA stock trader today, muttering, "Me no understand numbers good."